Hello, everyone. Glad to see you all. Welcome to the hangout. Pull up a chair, grab a snack. How's the home life? All right, sticks over. Let's get serious. Now, I know this is a little different from my usual unfinished work in progresses, animations, and crappy gameplay videos, but wait. I have an explanation for why this is happening. It's 24 words. Inside Out 2 has taken over my brain chemistry and won't release me from my shackles until I've drawn it out of my system. Help me, please, God, help me now, please! So, unless you've been living under a rock the past 10 years, you should know of a little animated Pixar movie called Inside Out, aka the last best Pixar movie. I mean, the animated movie about what if your emotions had emotions. Alright, overall brief synopsis of the concept in case you didn't watch the movie. It takes place in the mind of a young girl named Riley, and she has 5 different emotions that control her reactions to the events of her day-to-day life. Joy makes her happy, sadness helps her with various griefs, anger fights for things to be fair, disgust helps her avoid things that are inherently disgusting to Riley herself, and fear helps her avoid dangerous situations. All that jazz. Really, it is such a simple concept for such an amazing movie that I highly recommend. That line about it being the last best Pixar film, I wasn't entirely kidding, so go watch it if you haven't already. Especially because the sequel that just came out for it holds itself up pretty damn close to the first, and was in fact, I'm just gonna say, it was one of the best Pixar films that one of the best films that Pixar has put out technically in a while, in my personal opinion. Um, that's just me though. And I could say that because I've gone to watch Inside Out 2, that film, twice. This movie, guys. This movie. I this movie is me for real. They like tapped into me and just broadcasted me to the world and be so for real with y'all. It's not any of the rest of you. You can relate to it, but it's me 100%. They chose me to represent in this film. And I'm playing. But seriously, this movie this movie got me, guys. Especially as a person who struggles with a chronic amount of anxiety on a day-to-day basis. I felt so seen from this film, and if you've watched it, then you know exactly what I mean and what I'm referring to. Spoiler-free recap of this movie, aka I'm just gonna mention what was in the trailers and promotional material. Our protagonist, Riley, is now 13 years old, and with this grand age milestone come 4 new emotions: anxiety, envy, embarrassment, and the purple one, I guess. Anyways, yes, these new emotions come in and just they cause a little bit of mischief. Dare I say, some tomfoolery, some more than others. It's okay, I love you and I support all your rights and your wrongs. I'll end my explanation of the movie there to keep it spoiler free for many of you who are still waiting to go watch it. And now you're probably wondering why I'm mentioning all this, why I won't stop yapping. What does this have to do with the video, even though it totally didn't say that in the title of the video? Alright, that's enough yapping. On to designing my own inner emotions inspired by the Inside Out series. Yay! So, in the film, Joy is known for her spunky, upbeat personality, infectiously positive wit, and dare I say, dire impulsivity, and all of those characteristics really reflect in her design as well. A flowy dress that twirls wonderfully, and her lack of shoes that reflect that kind of free-spirited, childish nature. For my design, I wanted to keep that similar style of childish garment, but switch the clothing around a bit to reflect my own personality more. Trust me when I say this, little child me would rather be caught dead than wearing a dress in any sort of situation. Casual, formal, you name it, I was not having it. So, I switched the lovely twirly dress for a pair of baggy cargo capri pants and combined it with a puffy oversized jacket and a crop top. For the facial features and posing, I took inspiration from both Luffy from One Piece and those old Robohose cartoons. 2 pieces of artistic media that bring me great joy. Get it? Okay. Reason why I chose Luffy as a character to take inspiration from is because he too contains that infectious kind of cheerful and free-spiritedness, which is why in my Joy design I've adorned them in that similar sunshine-filled straw hat. Just without the red line for copyright reasons. Fun fact, a lot of the positive traits and life perspectives I've developed throughout high school came from One Piece. Luffy's character specifically gave a lot of hope to my younger self during tough times, so it was a great comfort show of mine. So I'm pretty sure my Joy would idolize Luffy as some sort of happiness champion, and is definitely the reason why I have so much merchandise. Other than making me purchase hordes of fandom merchandise, I feel Joy would be the most active whenever I'm making art, eating good food, probably watching anime or cartoons, especially during rainy days. I love rainy days, and probably whenever I play video games and hanging out with friends. You could start to see here, everything else was going good, but then I started struggling with the lighting because the character was already like so light, technically, in base color. Trying to add any more light kind of messed with the contrast of everything else, so I was really struggling to find like a good enough balance. In the end, I think I struck what was like the closest as efficient as I could get, and I kind of like it. I didn't want to give my design any facial features. I kind of wanted them to be like spiritually glowy little orb like facial features. So it's more like kind of like a screen, like a little screen face. Their mouth doesn't open basically. It's just it makes expressions like emoticons basically. So yeah. We are all creatures of the sun. We're all children of the day. Although very spunky, sparky, and jumpy, make no mistake, joy is not an active emotion in my roster. On the console, they've been a bit absent for the past decade? No, that's too extreme. Since high school started, they've taken a back seat. They're probably ranked like 6th out of the 9 emotions that get used, so they're not like absent, they're just constantly on vacation whenever I need them most. But I think that little by little I'm getting them back to at least like the top 3 in my life. And here's the finished look. For sadness, I actually changed a lot from the original sketch that I had. This was a combination of seeing that the design choices in clothing were too similar to another design I made, Ennui, and because it felt very plain compared to the others. Thankfully, leaving so little left room to brainstorm a new look. I only had one thing from the original thumbnail sketch that I wanted to keep, which was this long, soggy hair, which is supposed to represent how when I cry, my hair gets drenched from my tears. It's like a waterfall from there. Niagara Falls would be jealous at my water flow. That or any $2,000 rent apartment in my neighborhood. But anyway, basically how it sticks to my face. I kept the theme of long sleeve shirt from the original sketch, but exaggerated the length of the sleeves so they could be used as like tissues to wipe the overflow of tears from her eyes, because I really doubt that they'd be able to, stock up on like 15,000 boxes of tissues for how often I cry every day. also swapped the plain pants for a long, heavy weighted skirt that has a fishtail in the back, which mimics the stuffed animal I use as a comfort. For footwear, I gave my design some soft, cushy socks to provide comfort for her daily sob session. I like to be comfortable wherever I cry, so she will be too. Sadness in the first movie was actually who I, as many people, connected to the most, or at least sympathized with her character. I mean, obviously, we all felt sad before, no shit, Sherlock, but I loved how the movie didn't make her the villain or antagonized her, but instead validated her importance as all the other emotions. I'm a very emotional person, so I cry very easily, so it was nice to feel validated in my tears instead of berating myself for being too sensitive over stuff people didn't feel was as emotional to them, or as emotionally impactful to them specifically. On the console, Sadness is ranked 3rd out of the 9. They are very active with how sensitive I am to literally everything in the world. Okay, no, maybe not everything, but like your basic stuff like being yelled at, sad YouTube videos, music, movies, character deaths, being frustrated, being scared, being anxious, trying to fall asleep, waking up in the morning, driving to school. Okay, now that I'm writing it down, maybe everything does make me cry, if I'm being honest. Do what you will with that unfortunate piece of information. And now I present to you all my wallowing and suffering in cutesy character form. Hi everyone, this is Taro again. Hello. Thank you all for sticking around, and I know I don't post often, if at all really, but it really means a lot to me to those who do and stick around, especially since the algorithm isn't really kind to artists. I've been trying to make a better work ethic around my uploading schedule, but with university, it's kind of hard. At least for me, I know it's doable. A lot of other cooler artists I follow, and you're probably aware of it too, have managed to do this or center around their uploading schedule around it. So that's why I want to come on and thank those from the bottom of my heart for believing in me and coming to watch whatever I end up making, even if it's not consistent. So thank you again, and here's to a new year of tomfoolery with you all.